there we go. So you're finally live watching the Kiwi's Crusaders against PP's Banditos. So PP's Banditos are going to be playing on blue side this game. Unfortunately, they have Fraction subbing in for PP Bandit, so their namesake for their team is unfortunately away.
And the skill dropped drastically, sadly.
So far, we're seeing Lux Xerath banned away from likely Cheney. I don't think Cheney's ever played Xerath support. Probably would have seen the Karma
Jenny's
support
been
banned away.
playing it
Oh, really?
recently. Yeah, been adding an extra mage. I mean, Jenny gets so many bans. Probably realized that might need to learn something other than those three, so.
Fair enough. The Thresh, Jinx, and looks like it's going to be a Caitlyn banned away from the bot lane of blue side. So a lot of bans targeting the bot lane of both teams. Cheney is the best performing player on his team, so that makes a lot of sense. And the Thresh is River Otter's best champ. And Jinx is a counter pick for Amox. So instead they're going to ban away the Zillion from Papa Wand. We have a little bit of insider information into that, as that is Papa Wand's most comfortable mid laner, but I don't believe BB's Banditos has won a game with him playing Zillion, as it's not really a true damage carry that they might potentially be needing in most of these games.
Jordan's Nunu made it through ban phase. Uh-oh. We all remember what happened last time. I think the last time he played it, a little bit of analysis here, was into Scott's team, and he ran the entire map that game, and you could argue he was the solo proprietor as to why they won that game, so hopefully he has as good as a showing this game as he did that game. He's kind of been permabanned since then, so.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to be able to have a lot of influence on the map as a whole. Curious to see if Red Side's going to be picking a jungler that's going to be similar pacing to the Nunu. But it's going to be pretty hard to match it, as Nunu's ganks are. They pretty much come from everywhere, and they come quite fast and early, as you could easily see a level 2 Nunu gank, level 3, or anything after that point, as the Caitlyn Karma picked away for Kiwis, and actually, isn't someone subbing for Kiwis? Oh,
I have
Freshy's
no
playing,
idea.
right?
Freshy's subbing in. I don't know who for, but I just know he's subbing in. Hopefully get a confirmation on that.
I think it's Freshy subbing for Kiwis, actually. As Ezreal Bard gets locked in. So far, if Red Side locks any sort of tankiness, Blue Side's really going to struggle against that, as Ezreal's not the best against tanks, but is quite mobile and decent range into the Caitlyn Karma, which are going to be quite oppressive in early laning phase. So it is going to be Freshy subbing in for Kiwi, so he's going to be one piloting Caitlyn this game. Okay, so the Nautilus locked in. That is going to be Nautilus jungle for J-Patches. And it does a pretty good gank setup because it has so much CC in its kit, but its ganks are not as unexpected as the Nunus. And his clear is going to be not great to really punish the Nunus perma-ganking.
Yeah, I know it's his most comfortable jungler though, so I think picking comfort is always a good decision to make. A lot of people are kind of like, oh, what count is this? What does op.gg say? Lock it in. So J-Patch is just keeping it tried and true, and he's really good on the Nautilus jungle. I find his pacing isn't actually as slow as I sometimes suspect a Nautilus jungle to be.
Mm-hmm. Xin Zhao banned away. I'm curious who that would be targeting, as there was a significantly sized patch recently that changed a few champions significantly. And Xin Zhao being one of them, giving him some AP ratios back to making him a little bit uh, more of a sustain threat.
Just call him a demon, mate.
Bit of a
It's a
demon.
demon champ. Little
Yeah.
dusk and dawn, sundered sky, into Nash's Rift Maker Spirit Visage. You're unkillable. You do a silly amount of damage. You have so much healing. Like it's actually vile. It is one of those champs that was kind of broken. Um, so I was actually put on it by Johnny, and I just meme picked it up in the mid lane, and it was actually crazy how strong it was.
Yeah, so definitely stay tuned to see if there's any new picks from the most recent patches. A lot of small tweaks have made champs viable in different ways they really weren't viable beforehand. As the Alawi and Briar get banned away, Briar's a little bit confusing, but I guess it's against Fraction playing top, so that would definitely not something I was expecting. But the Azir, another mid laner banned away from Big Al as he picks up the Victor. Looks like Papa One's going to be responding with the Orianna, which is going to be providing decent AoE damage and a pretty nice laning phase.
Yeah, and I think it's also one of his most stable picks. Ornn going to be the last Fraction, which is I didn't know he had that in his wheelhouse, so I'm excited to see what he can do with it.
Yeah, it's very different from the typical picks that he locks in, as he usually likes to split push most games and eventually join the team fights very, very late into the game, while Ornn is a lot more focused on joining those team fights relatively early on, as he provides so much value for the team. And Set is locked in for red side into this tank of Ornn. I honestly think I like red side's team comp a little bit better, as they have a lot of tankiness in the form of just frontliners like the Nautilus and the Set, but they also have pseudo tankiness in the form of the Karma shielding, and it's pretty hard for blue side to be able to get onto the backline of red side's team comp of the Victor, Caitlyn, Karma, as if they're really not able to get a significant lead early and maintain their lead throughout the game, I certainly see them struggling in team fights if red side is able to set up early enough.
Yeah, and I think, in terms of like a traditional style of gameplay, I think red side take it. They got the frontliners, they got the backliners, they got the late game carries, they've got objective take and objective control. They have siege potential with the Victor. They just kind of they tick all the boxes. Kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. But when it comes to league, you kind of want to dabble in all aspects of the game when you're building a team comp. So I agree with you. I think the team is just probably far better, not even close. Um, but nameplates on, I'm interested to see how blue side cultivate an environment that's going to put them in a position to win. So
Yeah, blue side has a lot of interesting tools in their team fights as the game progresses, as this Bard ult is definitely something I'm going to be paying very close attention to as the game progresses, as it can easily catch out several of the members of red side and lead them into winning positions or just numbers advantages to give them that ability to win team fights, as well as again the Nunu. If he's able to influence the map hard enough, then I certainly see opportunities for blue side to snowball their way into a victory, no pun intended. But they just don't have a lot of damage going for them. So yeah,
yeah, they've put a lot of onus on Ezreal to be able to pull out a silly amount of damage. The only saving grace for them really is all items late game is going to give them that little bit more damage that they might be lacking. Orianna's always going to do a little, decent amount of damage, but the profile is kind of skewed with. I think I would have liked to have seen Ezreal replaced for something that can maybe match the poke of Caitlyn. Maybe something like Varus would have probably been better here. a bit more raw damage coming out, and also able to match the range coming in from Caitlyn Karma. Um, Again, they picked it pretty early on, so hindsight's always 2020. But as for their comp, I think I agree. They are kind of low damage profile.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a more physical, heavy AD carry would definitely be preferable. The Varus would be fantastic into Red Side's team comp, but again, I think the shielding from Karma is going to be pretty hard to shred through, and they don't have any real champ on blue side that can really build shield break.
Nunu can do it all,
Nunu does it all.
especially John's Nunu, dude. I won't be surprised if I see a first item Serpent's Fang this game. Guy's looking for a
Nice.
quick 2-0 or a quick 0-2. He's got World of Warcraft to play, so
That is true. He has been bullied into playing World of Warcraft.
that he has. Hopefully, this man J Patches doesn't shit the bed. Hey, that's all any man can hope for. You know what I mean? No man wants to shit the bed, but sometimes you need a man to shit the bed to really get the ball rolling. So I don't know where I was going with that one, but
Very nice.
anywho's moving on.
Anywho's, if anyone in chat is not watching the MF Regular League 2 at the same time, you can feel free to go over there to using both your monitors to watch both streams as there are two series going on at the same time.
But it won't be hype as this one. Whoa! Thanks for the prime, dude. Dude, look at that, dude. Really supporting the stream. I'm actually really excited for this game. Like I said, we not many games of PP Bandits have actually been like live casted. So, and I think that team's a little bit like just scrappy, just in the fucking paint, just making shit happen. So, I'm excited to see things get scrappy a little bit, maybe less of a methodical gameplay, less macro heavy. And when you're picking champions like Nautilus and Nunu, that's kind of what you expect. There's a lot of early game ganks, very volatile lanes. What I'm hoping for, at least. Man can hope.
Yeah, in mid and bot, I'd say both lanes look relatively even, just purely based off of champs. Though Orion is very chunked already, so that's not a great start, but having to pop both of her health pots already.
Ugh. And I don't know about you, but I think this lane of Amox and River have really struggled to find their footing in the league so far. I mean, when I look at them, I looked at them as probably the best duo potentially in the league this split. But I think they've really fell short of that. So I would really like to see them pick that up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely be really curious to see how the team plays, as I haven't been able to really see them as a whole team. As again, you are absolutely on point with that. In terms of ranks, their bot lane should be the best overall, but they haven't been able to get secure wins. So it's possible that they're winning laning phase to an extent, but they're just not able to translate it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of fighting top lane as Set pops both of his summons and is able to secure that kill into the Ornn.
And again, that to me looked like a little bit of an experience in the matchup. Again, I think that's going to come. I don't know how much on Frakshan's played, but when I think of Frakshan, like you said in draft, I picture a heavy split push champion that's just able to brawl a little bit, bully somebody in lane. I don't picture an on when Frakshan's name's thrown out, so could be a reason why.
Nice Bard Q to prevent the Caitlyn and Karma from getting too much onto the Ezreal here, but he is quite chunked out as the Nunu is just now able to get down to bot lane. looks like the Nautilus was stalled a little bit in terms of his clear, as he is quite far behind. Nunu can maybe look for something here, but his bot lane is again quite weak, so I imagine he should have just been looking for the bot crab, as the Nautilus is going to be skipping his blue buff in, and is going to be heal popped by the Karma, so the Caitlyn's going to try and get away, but she's going to get stunned down by the Bard Q. The Ezreal's eating forward, looking for something onto the Caitlyn, but the Ezreal's going to pop Barrier to ensure that he doesn't get taken down immediately, but Kaylin had to use both of her sums to get away from there, as the Noon is going to flash away from the Nautilus hook, and now the Karma and Nautilus, as well as the Kaylin with 1 HP, is going to be looking for something onto this. Oh no! The Kaylin gets taken down by the Ezreal WQ as the Karma takes down him in exchange, as Nunu barely gets taken down while the Bard fell a little bit sooner. So a 3 for 2 in favor of red side. A lot of sums used.
Yeah, and a double kill going over to Cheney's Karma especially. You know, most of the time you'll say, oh, it's a support, it doesn't matter. But Cheney's Karma is a bit of a different beast. So it feels unfortunate. You know, Jordan did well to get that tempo advantage on Nautilus, but I think you're right. The bot lane 2v2 was kind of too low to be able to force something that heavy. I think they should have been happy with the Caitlyn heal and just walk away, but there he is, top lane again, dude. Screw camps. Gonna find another one, put Fraction right back in the game. Nice gank from Jordan straight out of base, abusing the home guards there.
Yeah, really great timing for that gank. It should have more or less been expected, or the set should have been a little bit wary of a potential ganked pop lane as the Ezreal eats forward into the Caitlyn, and they'd have like an even trade more or less as the wave is coming into this Caitlyn while Victor has no mana under this turret. But yeah, I really like that gank, and hoping to see similar ganks to that, as this is where the Nunu really shines.
Yeah, Jordan does that every time. I mean, every time he bases, he's coming out of base looking for a gank, looking for a lane gank. So people just need to keep that in mind. That's what every Nunu does, but Jordan does it specifically every single time he hits that recall. So
yeah, a lot of trading in this bot lane going on. Yeah, that Karma has a blasting one in her inventory, building towards the Malignance first item, while Bard only has a Ruby Crystal. Oh, and the Ezreal wasn't able to buy a tier on reset as he wanted to build the full Sheen. A little bit greedy, but I understand why he did it.
Yeah, you definitely want the poke here, being able to play into Caitlyn Karma. It's extremely important as the Ezreal to be able to match some of that poke damage. Otherwise, you'll never be able to play the game, right? If you came back with a tier here, it would be absolutely miserable. So I completely understand the full buy of the machine, but yeah, it does feel kind of bad as Ezreal first back, not able to grab your tier. It does delay that Muramana spike pretty heavily.
Yeah, as we're already seeing the strength of this AP Karma early. Caitlyn going a little bit far forward, so the Nunu's gonna be able to hit that snowball onto him and gonna be able to stun him down. Doesn't have flash, pops barrier to live a little bit longer, but still gonna get taken down, and Ezreal's gonna pop the barrier to ensure that he doesn't get taken down in response. Every time it's just fanning back and forth between top and bot. They're always fighting. Oh, and another fight going on in the bot lane. The Nunu is going to be looking for something under the Nautilus. The Karma gets stunned by the Bard Q. Nunu popping his ult. The Karma doesn't have flash here, so she gets taken by the Ezreal. Little bit too aggressive, but the Nautilus is going to be under this turret. He's going to be popping ult onto the Ezreal. That's not going to be able to take him down. Takes 2 turret shots, walks away. And Victor's shadowing him just to ensure that nothing else happens, as we are already seeing so much chaos in bot lane.
Yeah, like I said, this is going to be a game a lot less focused on macro and moving around the map and a lot more focused on just who's going to come out in these equal trade. I mean, you're seeing 3v3s bot, 1v1 top. You see equal numbers. It's just going to come down to that little bit of mechanical skill, I think, between either side. Really good of Jordan to be able to pop his ult there and slow Karma enough and do enough damage to put Amox in a position to be able to take that kill. Slows down Cheney's game a little bit and picks up Amox's as we see him now 3-1. Hopefully see him be able to take over the game.
It really puts the Ezreal back into a much better position as he's up a decent amount of gold About 600 gold over the Caitlyn. It does have the tier and 2 components for his Trinity Force. I'm really curious to see what he's going to be building for his 3rd and 4th items this game, as they did buff Ezreal's AP ratios on his Q and W, and so there have been a lot of creative builds people have been trying out on the champ. As again, we're seeing more trading in between this Ornn and set.
Yeah, I have been seeing people have been opting to take Hextech Gunblade quite frequently on this Ezreal now for the active and everything else. But we are seeing Jordan finding a nice snowball on the Nautilus. They do have the numbers advantage. 3v2. Good roam from the Orianna. Nautilus forced to flash hook himself out. But the Ornn is going to connect. Should be able to give this kill over to Papa Wand. Really good map movements. Jordan also going to be able to solidify this objective on the top side.
Yeah, Grubs, this specific game, are not going to be the most important for either team. Probably would be more important for Red Side, since Set is a little bit better of a split pusher than the Ornn, and Ornn really wants to be in team fights. So both of these teams more or less going to be looking for those 5v5s, so any instance where they're going to be using Grubs is going to be a situation where they would have already been hitting the turrets. In more of a less a winning situation is a lot of damage going off into this Bard, and he's just going to pour it all away. Ezreal going to E out to ensure that he doesn't take too much damage. Caitlyn running pretty low on mana. Again, the amount of trading going on in this game is a lot. These games are likely going to be a lot different from what we usually see. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just...
I'm here for it, dude. This is what the Reg League needs. Just a scrappy game. Just, action. I think our last series, there wasn't a kill by this part in the game.
Yeah, 10 kills, 10 minutes.
Yeah, if we operate at a kill per minute, dude, I'm happy with that pace. Extremely interested to see if Amux is able to take over this game, though. Being 3-1, he's still playing into a Caitlyn Karma lane, so it's extremely difficult on the poke side of things, as reflected in the CS numbers. But we are going to see Jordan rolling once again. Bard trying to find that Q. Sadly, not going to be able to get it, but Jordan might be able to connect the snowball onto the Caitlyn. Barrier is going to be popped, but Ezreal just kind of walking up, disrespecting a little bit too much. This play might be dead. Forcing flash out from Caitlyn is the best you're going to be able to do. Papa One making his way down, though. Not going to amount to anything. I think they need to cut their losses and just try and get this Ezreal back to base. Knowing Victor's also coming to try and aid in this bot side play.
Yeah, I like the idea. The Bard ult was not great, unfortunately, and really would have made it so easy for the bot lane of blue side to be able to get at least one kill onto likely the Caitlyn, as she was stepping quite far forward. Getting her sums, though, makes it a lot easier for the Nunu to get a more impactful gank the next time, as the Karma Victor and Nautilus are looking for something onto the Orianna, but the Nunu is going to be snowballing into the middle of them with the Bard here. So it's another 3v3. First, we're looking onto this wing on the Nautilus at the very start. Nautilus going to pop that ult after he gets taken down by the Orianna. Bard's going to be portaling forward, but he's just going to have to walk backwards.
Yeah, and we spoke about it. It's going to be equal numbers. It's just going to be running around pretty much for the rest of the game, I think, especially when you have the pairing of this Bard and Nunu. I would love to see them get together. The only thing I would love to see differently so far is Jordan needs to be hitting these ganks bot lane when Ezreal's a little bit healthier. He's just a little bit off tempo. I think the synergy between bot side and jungle, they're not communicating well enough, it seems, because there shouldn't be a position where Jordan's ganking like that in a 3v2, but Ezreal almost died. So would love to see bot lane play a little bit safer until Jordan's able to show up, or Jordan try and flip his tempo on his camps a little bit and try and get off the same tempo with this Nautilus to be able to gank in a bit of a earlier fashion. But we are going to see Flash forced out from set and Ghost. Jordan is still going to find the snowball. Don't really know what Spooky Action's exit plan was there. Both sums used, but no distance was gained.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing that we were looking for when we see this Nunu pick. We want to see these creative ganks constantly coming through and getting his side lanes ahead as the Ezreal gets taken down after stepping onto a Kate trap. And taking a lot of damage from this Karma as well, as the Nunu's going to be snowballing down onto the Karma. Maybe looking for something onto the Caitlyn, as the Caitlyn doesn't have flash here. She does have barrier. Nunu doesn't have ult. So Caitlyn popping that barrier just to ensure she doesn't get taken down. But there likely wasn't any real situation where she was going to get taken down, as the Ornn stuck around a little bit too long. Trying to take one extra wave as he gives over an easy kill to this Nautilus. Actually, was that given over to the set?
No idea who picked it up.
Unsure. Someone got a free kill.
Still operating at that kill per minute as we see Papa One find a nice shockwave onto Oranos. Just gonna walk him down the lane. Really well played from Papa One, right on the edge of that.
He just randomly solo kills his ass.
Little 3-0 coming in from Papa One, dude. Hang the Zillion up. Pick up a control mage. Do something with your life, bro. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him.
The Orianna's looking good, and his movement around the map has also been pretty nice to see. As the Nautilus is going to flash forward, and the Bard is going to flash away from that Nautilus, so the Nautilus ult's going to be popped onto him, as well as the Caitlyn ult, but the Bard portal is going to be able to get him away from there. Oh, as the Karma ult Q barely takes him down.
Yeah, Zazak's a Malignant. Both completed now, so a lot of damage coming out from these these Mantra Qs. So this is where Cheney gets extremely scary. We are going to see TP from the Orianna, though, to try and save this tier 1. A lot of damage onto the Ezreal. Nautilus is going to find a hook behind, but doesn't really have much support to follow it up. Thinks he can go at it alone. Flash probably wasn't necessary, but really didn't know what damage was coming. A little overzealous there from J-Patches. I think if they just waited for the wave, they definitely could have made that play happen.
Oh.
Say it, bro.
Ezreal eating forward with 1 HP, knowing Karma's on the bush, just getting gunned down by the Karma
you gotta
damage.
respect the passion, dude. You gotta respect the passion in this, man.
There's a lot of passion as the Orianna nearly solo kills the Victor yet again, but the Seb was able to take down the first turret of the game. The Nunu's looking for something under the Caitlyn, is able to get the flash out of her. Nice little drive-by from the Nunu. As Seb blowing its W means that Orianna can play pretty aggressive there, and she does take him down a little bit lower, but he should just be resetting and looking to walk back mid lane, it looks like. In the Bard ult yet again, there's not really any pressure on Caitlyn to walk backwards. So that's usually what you use to make it very easy to hit Bard ults.
Yeah, I do want to highlight, though, Papa One, just watching him, he's had extremely good space in this game. And I think he's played pretty much every skirmish, like, extremely well. Better than I would have expected after the last game that I saw him play. So I don't know what differences he's applied to this game from last, but it's working out.
He's locked in, as Blue said, able to pick up the Ocean Drag.
Maybe that's what it is, dude. Maybe he just decided to lock the fuck in real quick.
True. Orianna makes him play better.
I would agree.
This Ezreal hurts. Caitlyn just walking into him takes a lot of damage there. Bard and Ezreal looking for something under the Karma as the Karma is caught in the river a little bit. She does have the support of Victor nearby, but Victor's very low on mana. Ezreal's going to pop ult and be able to secure that kill. Now looking for something under the Caitlyn here. Ezreal should be coming up in a little bit as the Bard ult popped to ensure that the tower is not going to be able to dissuade them from going any further, as Bard nearly survives that one turret shot, as well played by the bot lane of blue side, catching at the Karma first and then looking for something onto the Caitlyn afterwards. Now Nunu's trying to avoid the set as set pops Ghost, as the Nautilus ult is going to be able to hold him down, but the Ornn ult is nearby, and the Nunu ult is going to save him for a little bit longer, but he does get taken down by that set ult, as Oriana is just going to be running as far away as she possibly can from this set, and Ornn should be able to take down, and he does take down that Nautilus. So far, as scrappy as this game has been so far, blue side does have a little bit of an advantage of about 1,500 gold, as Bard's going to be taking a lot of damage from that Carmen's Victor.
Yeah, I mean, as we highlighted earlier, though, we both was operating under the assumption that this red side team is a lot easier to pilot in the mid to late game. So the fact that we do only have a 1,000 gold lead with a very gank, gimmicky sort of team comp coming out of blue side, it doesn't bode well going into this mid to late game. I think the second you put set Nautilus in front of this Victor Caitlyn Karma, the game gets extremely hard, or especially around these next couple dragon fights, I think. But we are going to see Nunu unable to extend that, but interesting to put so much focus into this Ornn lane.
They get the set flash for some reason, as Ezre's going to be pushing
Jordan
forward.
Go ahead.
Oh, Barty's getting this Victor. He's going to be able to send him down to the Oriana. Should just be able to pop ult, and he gets popped. Yeah, Oriana up a full item as the Nunu gets taken down in between this 2v2 with the set and Nautilus, as the Bard ult is going to only hit the set, but that likely is going to be enough for the rest of the team to get here in time, as the Nunu Bard Q is just barely not able to hit onto both the Nautilus and the set, as set does get shut down by the Oriana. Oriana pops flash and gets taken down by the Caitlyn. Now Bard is going bar for bar with the Nautilus. Should just be able to portal out of this. Eventually? Maybe? Instead he just gets taken down by the Caitlyn. And now the gold's over to red side.
And this is where the game's going to get a little bit difficult. I think that play, it doesn't quite do justice as to what I was saying. I think blue side just played that kind of really stinky. But as I was going to say before that whole play transpired, I don't think Jordan should be putting as much time, effort, and resources into this Ornn lane. Ornn's going to do what Ornn does late game. It's long-range engage. He just wants levels. If he's getting XP, just leave him to it. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about anything else. As long as set's not taking you inhibitor turret, obviously, then you can, deal with it. But I think Jordan needs to be trying to save this Ezreal. Not that 5-3 looks bad, but when you see the 2v2, the 5-3 is not reflected in that. Caitlyn Karma definitely given Ezreal a lot of difficulty, so I think Jordan just needs to scrap ganking the Ornn and do exactly what he's doing right now. That's well played. 30 seconds before Dragon. Really well played.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive from the Caitlyn there. It was also a little bit strange seeing the Ornn there without any sort of hesitancy from red side, as seeing too many numbers on the map should give you an understanding of what one team is going to be looking for, as the Bard yet again is going to be able to get a nice ult onto the tower after the Victor flashes away from the tower, and he gets taken down as well, and so that should be a free drag over to blue side. Yeah, that is exactly the game plan they should be looking for these picks, as they are going to see the Nautilus and Karma are going to be over into right on their blue buff, as Bard's just going to be giving them hell, and they're going to keep fighting because we don't like objectives. So we're scrappy as hell. The Caitlyn's going to walk into them, going to be able to E over the wall to get away from them, and the Nautilus is going to be flashed on by the Nunu and Nunu ult, as Kate ult popped into the Nunu, but it's not even going to break his shield, as Ezreal's trying to take him down. Now Set's going to be looking for something here. The Ezreal's in a little bit of an awkward position, but the Karma ult Q is going to be a little bit short, so he's going to be able to easily get away from this, and we're still not going to be able to hit the drag yet, as Nautilus is going to be respawning in 25 seconds. Are we going to be able to take it down before that? Who knows, as the Ornn's on the top side of the map without TP, while the Victor is going to be able to TP down here. Now it's going to be a 4v3. Nunu's going to be looking for more kills, as again then cancel his snowball, looking to get back onto the drag, as Karma's going to be looking to give them a little bit of hell, and set Karma above, while the Victor's going to be looking for something below. The Bard is chunked down a little bit. The set does have his ult here, as well as Ghost, and so the Orion is going to be chunked out and taken down by the set, as Ezreal going over the wall after blue side is able to secure that drag, but that took a long time to get.
Yeah, I feel like there was so many issues with how Blue Side played that, especially the second on TP top. You always know you didn't have numbers advantage, but then staggering doing the dragon to try and force more kills to me was just extremely weird. I think you just do the dragon, you got the kill. Ornn was forced to TP top. You should have been happy with that outcome, but you got a little greedy for more.
Ornn in a little bit of a pickle as the set's going to pop his ghost to be able to easily get on top of this Ornn. The Ornn's popping ult. Set W goes off, but there's a Bard ult to let the Ornn live a little bit longer, but unfortunately that also means Caitlyn's going to be able to easily set a trap on him and kill him. I'm curious to see if Red's
That's
going to be looking
extremely
to
unfortunate.
Baron.
If Ornn just didn't press the second part of his ult and just accepted the slow and Bard ult was enough to get him out, he would have lived. But he really wanted that R2.
It's like Lee Sin Q. Once you hit the first one, you got to get the second one.
Dude. Lee Syndrome is a...
Man, I need it. I need it.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
I need it.
He's glowing.
Come on.
Look at him glow.
Now blue side's gonna be the one starting Baron after they lost their top laner and the Orion had to walk bot lane to catch Victor out. But this is gonna be spotted out by the set. As Nautilus is just right over the wall with the blast cone looking to engage as blue side is going to realize this is not a good idea and they're gonna step back and Nuna's gonna be back on his camps.
Well, I like the look though. There's the potential there that you catch them off guard and you get that. I really liked the look despite how dangerous it was.
It's definitely creative. I'll give them that.
Oh, this team's all about creativity, dude.
That's true.
Look at the team comp. Look at the team comp.
The Nunu.
The second item, Frozen Heart Nunu. Into the 0 attack speed coming out of red side. That's my boy right there, bro. He's the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
What do you think about this Frozen Heart pick? You think it's as weird as I do?
It's bad, but it's not, like, horrible. Nuna's looking going to the Caitlyn doesn't have flash here. She's going to be hit by that snowball, and the Ezreal's looking to get some good damage onto her, and then we're going to see a nice knockup by the Ornn, and she eventually is going to be taken down, but she almost is able to get a trade kill. She's able to walk it off, apparently, as the set suplexes the Ornn into the tower, but we're going to see a big Bard ult and a big Ornn ult, and now Caitlyn gets taken by the Ornn ult, and now eventually we're going to see the Nautilus get taken down after he flashes away. It looks like he died to the Bard Ignite there. These fights are something else, but what Red side really didn't realize is that they're victors on the bot side of the map, so they really should not have been taking that fight after blue side went that far forward. And Karma's lingers in the Ornn, and the Ornn's going to have to flash away from her. And Victor's looking to take camps, it looks like.
Freshy, unfortunately, it looked to me like he just clicked back to the fountain and then continued to watch the fight. Because there was 0 attempt at dodging anything that Ornn was throwing from 6 screens away. But we are going to see Baron picked up by Jordan. Nice smite is going to come through. Jordan probably going to fall for that, though. Unless...
Oh!
No!
Run, Jordan!
Xbox is going to pay for Jordan's sins, maybe. Jordan, just press B, bro.
Uh-oh!
Oh, no.
Special delivery!
Special delivery! Kate was dedicated to the straight line for 20 seasons. Yeah, I'm glad you saw that too. Just going on a little motive. Just a little motive. We are going to see vision control being put towards this dragon now as both teams look to contest. Oh, it is going to walk in. I think that this is really unfortunate if you're Caitlyn flashing into the Ornn.
Oh, nice Orianna ult onto the set in the Nautilus, but unfortunately the person who's going to be dying is not the Bard. It's probably going to be the Caitlyn as the Ornn's 1v3 in the backline of red side's team comp. I guess that's how blue side gets to the backline, as the set is eventually taken down by this Ezreal, and Ezreal gets a double kill onto the Nautilus as Ornn is a menace and he's trying to kill the Karma at the same time. 1v3. Getting their sums. As Nunu doesn't
Yeah.
even want the drag, he wants blood. He's not
I'm
aiming
not
for the
aiming for
truck.
the truck. And this is all a byproduct of Red Side just not slowing the game down. You know, we're sitting as at the time 5-5 Caitlyn and the 3-6 Nautilus was sitting in a bush by themselves trying to catch somebody out. It was just super weird to try and force something like that. They just need to slow the game down, rely on their comp being front to back. You know, despite Victor's scoreline, he's getting strong. That's just what Victor does. So they just kind of needed to just pump the brakes a little bit. It's the third dragon. We don't have to go crazy. Like we just gotta start trusting in the comp a little bit and chill out.
Yeah, I'd really like to see at least one nice front to back 5v5 team comp, but these teams want to be as scrappy as possible for some reason, and it is
Oh
benefiting
yeah.
Blue Side heavily as they are now on Soul Point.
And that's why Blue Side's kind of just playing that comp better than Red Side's playing theirs. Blue Side know they've kind of got to make this game. You know, you got to get in the mud a little bit, just to take it scrappy. That's why you seen Jordan just fucking rolling it, just rolling it every chance he gets.
He doesn't care who's there. He doesn't care Nautilus is right behind the set. He's gonna get his ass. It's Nautilus.
Somebody's
He's gonna get
paying
taken down.
for
It's
every
Seth's
time
walking
Jordan
back
presses
in.
W.
Oh, and Ezreal takes down the Caitlyn and Karma on the side.
Oh, good Zonias. Sadly, Bounce City, baby. Seth does not have W. Oh, if he had W when he had Big Yellow, Jordan was dead. An ace coming out as Bard and Ezreal clean up bot side too.
Wait, you're right. He upgraded the Frozen Heart.
He doubled down on it. He said, "There's a reason I purchased this shit." I respect, dude. He needed the mana.
It only buffs
With a 0
armor
attack
and
speed.
abilities.
I'm gonna ask him about that one, bro. I just need to know.
Now, Blue Side is about an 8,000 gold lead. They're almost able to take down inhibs for mid and bot, but still taking down those towers make them a lot more susceptible on next pushes. So Blue Side in a great position now. As it looks like Amox is just going the standard Ezreal build before the changes came through, so no AP in his build. And I like that in this specific game, as he is pretty much the only person on his team that's doing any physical damage, as we're already seeing Red Side is stacking a lot of magic resist. So making sure to take advantage of that is definitely a good idea, as he's going to be building a little bit defensively with Hex Drinker 5th.
And props to Amox, despite having a rough early game into the Caitlyn Karma. John, this guy's just, he's a goofball.
He doesn't
Yeah.
care.
Despite the rough early game into this poke 2v2, you know, he held his nerve. He caught back up in CS. He's now 10-3, so he's doing a lot better in this mid to late game. So take my hat off to him.
Yeah, Orianna and
Looking
Nunu.
for the bot.
Oh, Nunu's caught out, but there's a nice Bard ult to let him live a little bit longer, but that just... Oh, no, that's Bard. Bard lives a little bit longer, but there's going to be 4-man onto this Bard, so the rest of the team is going to be forcing topside, so that likely going to be able to get tier 2 top lane, as well as the inhib turret here if they're fast enough. But Red Side able to reset all at about the same time, so it looks like they're not going to be able to get all of it, but they are able to get most of the turret. Curious to see if Red Side's going to force anything here, though.
Interesting decision to go on the bot. I still think it's worth for Blue to be able to take tier 2 and 90% of inhibitor turrets for support. You know, Bard not worth any gold. Really didn't change anything at all. So they're just going to chill now, wait for Bard to respawn, and then hit this dragon.
Yeah, if it was close to objective timers, then it would make sense to be able to secure that kill. As this Bard has been a little bit of a menace. His ultimates have not been the greatest. But it is another tool that blue side has available to them, is the Nautilus going to be able to hook onto this new noon. He should just be able to walk it out, while the Ornn is just going to run straight into the back line. He's doing more damage than they are, as the Bard is going to be able to hit an ult only onto the Nautilus. I think he wanted to hit it onto the Ornn so that he was able to live a little bit longer. As 3 members are trying to take down this Ornn, as he does get taken out eventually, as the, oh my goodness, blue side, low health bars as Nuna gets taken down. After the set was able to get a nice suplex and then get taken down, and a triple kick over into the Caitlyn. The Ezreal and Orianna barely able to slink away from this poor team fight. Oh no, Ezreal able to buffer the Nautilus Kiwi. He's trying to run as fast as he possibly can. He gets a little bit of move speed from that Orianna W, while the rest of red side is taking down the drag as Karma flashes forward to secure that kill onto that Orianna. Barely not able to get that Ezreal though.
Yeah, and this is more what we was talking about seeing from red side. Just put numbers in front of Caitlyn. Now, it definitely helps that Jordan and Frakshan griefed and really wanted blue buff for some unfathomable reason, but you know, the fact Ornn lived for that long kind of probably just made it a fair 5v5. You know, if they were on equal footing, that's probably how team fights should be looking. Um, but yeah, that was definitely Jordan and Fraction just getting overzealous and trying to be greedy for enemy jungle.
Yeah, Jordan really needs more mana when he already has Frozen Heart. So
I'm telling you, dude, that's 400 mana isn't enough for Nunu.
he needs more.
Interested as to why he opted for Frozen Heart Fawn Mail. Is he really that scared of Caitlyn?
Caitlyn went Kraken. 5th item.
Is it not more beneficial here for him to go something like Abyssal Mask, seeing them stack so much MR, or Spirit Visage to amplify his healing more?
Abyssal Mask would be fantastic to enable the Orianna and even the Bard to do
Yeah.
more damage.
I don't know. His build just feels really bad this game. That's my boy, dude. I wouldn't just flame him for nothing.
Yeah, I can justify the Frozen Heart, but the Thorn Mail is definitely different.
Even the Frozen Heart, I get why you buy it. You want an armor item, but if you want an armor item, then it's probably just Randuin's. Stop all the crit damage from Caitlyn.
This Orion is quite strong. She's 4 items with an Ornn upgrade to Victor's 3 items.
Mm-hmm.
If Blue Side was able to set up for this Baron and look for picks, I really like their chances. As Orion is able to get good damage. Flashes away from that Nautilus Q though. As this Baron's going down quite fast, as Nautilus has to be able to get into there, but he's not able to do that, as Baron does go down for blue side, but they're going to get a kill over onto that Bard. But training over your support for Baron, not the end of the world, as the Nautilus is able to get a hook onto this Orianna. Big Orianna ult onto the Victor and Set, trying to get away from them as best she can. Nice Zhonya's to ensure that she doesn't get taken down by that Set W, and she barely lives with the Caitlyn Q, is barely able to take her down as the Ezreal and Nunu are walking it out while the Ornn clicking forward because for some reason he's just not allowed to reset. Those are the rules. He has to die.
And this is what Riverata played that really well to keep Nautilus out. Sacrificed himself. The second you ult yourself next to a Caitlyn, like Caitlyn trap's always just gonna murder you. But you know, I think they just need to walk it out after that. Some pretty bad positioning from the Orianna. Forced to burn the flash early on probably is what lost that fight, in my opinion. I think if they still have flash, they're able to play that fight a lot safer, and it probably has a different outcome. But again, we're getting to the point now where gold is becoming a lot less of a factor, and it's coming down to the team comp. And I really, really do prefer Red Side's team comp. I think this Victor you're going to start seeing getting a bunch more kills. Caitlyn's really strong, nearly got that last item. So it's looking pretty rough now. That damage profile is looking extremely low from blue side.
Yeah, Yeah, this next drag fight could be the last of this game if it goes in blue side's favor hard enough, as Infernal Soul would be quite hard for them to address, as Oriana's already doing so much damage. Increasing the poke damage from Ezreal would certainly be quite nice as well.
Yeah, and I think this is red side's. The last
Oh,
person you want walking into a bush is Caitlyn, so red side gotta find some access here. They are just gonna brute force it seems, but huge Bardo is gonna come out. Jordan is gonna follow up. That is gonna be Nautilus perishing pretty early on into this fight. Set trying to find access to the backline is gonna be able to. Jeez, bye Ezreal. Oh my days, dude! I can't even calm this dude. Blue
that's pretty
side
much.
just crumbling at the seams.
Yeah, pretty much half of the damage already get taken down from blue side as the Ezreal gets popped and the Karma gets popped as well, as she had to blow her flash earlier because she had to flash away from that Bard ult plus Orianna ult. Orianna's still getting some good damage down, but the Ornn's going to be able to step forward and looking for something out of the Caitlyn, but unfortunately he flashed. Actually, what was that interaction? That was very strange. The Caitlyn flashed away, but overall a 4 for 4. A lot
Yeah,
used.
and that was red side played that back 2v2 really poorly. That should have been pretty clean to, just wipe that up like a stain on the floor. But this just goes to show that it doesn't matter if Nautilus brute forces. Like Nautilus can die. That's okay. If they don't have access to this Caitlyn Victor, like we see time and time again, they don't. They can't close this game out. Victor's online, Caitlyn's online. They're struggling so hard to find access to him. And in a structured 5v5 like this around Dragon, it's so hard for blue side to be able to find an in. They need to make it scrappy again. They need to find a pick before. I mean, right now they just have the tempo advantage because of that, so they're going to pick up this Infernal Soul. And honestly, this could be the main reason they win could be because of this dragon right here. We are going to see a TP come in from Orianna. Looks like they're trying to force something. Jordan is going to be rolling down, trying to find this Nautilus. Is going to find the set instead, but decided to just walk away.
Oh, Orianna ult misses, but then Nanu's getting taken down quite low. Set's going to be able to jump onto the backline of blue side, and the Orianna and Ezreal nearly get popped at the start. Caitlyn able to secure that kill, and blue side just going to be ran down, even though they have the Infernal Soul at this point. The Caitlyn didn't even have the Infinity Edge in that last team fight, and it shows how much more damage he's able to output, as that goes so heavily in red side's favor. It seems
like I said, just structured 5v5s do not fit this blue side comp. Despite all the advantages they've been able to get, they had a gold lead for the vast majority of the game. They have Infernal Soul. They've had 2 Barons now. It's just, despite how many advantages they get, there's just such a better team comp on this red side where they know they don't have any access to this Caitlyn or Victor. But they keep trying to take these structured 5v5s rather than keep it messy like they did in the early game. And this is exactly what we highlighted in draft. We just didn't see a way where if this goes late, blue side would be able to take this game. It looks like a knocking on the door here. Caitlyn pumping so much damage right now. Bottle is going to go wide. He's going to be able to pick up multiple turrets here.
Nunu looking for something on red side's team. Company is going to be running into the wall as well as that Victor W. Red side trying to run away, but blue side does have a wave in top lane. If they are able to get a pick here, they are quite a bit healthier, as the Caitlyn's looking a little bit too far forward, doesn't have flash to be able to get away from that Ornn knockup, so she's going to get popped. The set ult's going to be pushing the Ornn away from the rest of the team, so he's going to not be able to get easily to the back line, as the Ezreal's going to be able to E away from that, and the Nunu then gets taken down as well as the Victor, Karma. Blue side taking them all down. Unfortunately, a tempo swing for blue side is they are able to ace them.
Red side's game to lose, dude, and they griefed. They pulled it back. They played the team comp so well, but they get caught on the back foot. They were a little too greedy down the mid lane. caught on the back foot. Blue side was able to find their fight. Finally, they was able to find a way to access this Caitlyn Victor. And it does end eventually in them ending the game. It was not clean in the slightest, was actually quite horrific to watch for a while. But they're able to pick it up. You know, it doesn't matter how clean or messy it is. When you see that victory screen, that's a 1-0. Game one going over to PP's Banditos. That shouldn't have happened, dude. That was crazy. That was crazy. They got away with murder that game.
Yeah.
You can talk about that post, bro. You can give some MVP. I'm gonna go get some water. That game's done something to me.
Jordan, why are we building Thornmail, mate? Why we aren't building Abyssal Mask? Hmm? What are we doing? What are we doing? Not the runes? What were your runes? Oh, it doesn't even show. Fucking customs.
What were the runes, Jordan? Tell us.
You got
Conk.
Conquer!
Nice. Nice. I mean, it's not the worst rune to take. There's worse runes. What's the thought process behind the Frozen Heart? Like, they had 0 attack speed on their team. It was just crit. If you was going to go rush an armor item like that, I think you should just rush Randuin. Yeah. In games, the rule of thumb is kind of, do they have attack speed or do they have high crit? If they have attack speed, you're always going to go Frozen Heart. If they have crit, you're always going to want to go Randuin's. Like, there was no reason Frozen Heart was good that game. Caitlyn's autoing at, like, one auto every 10 minutes. You just needed to negate some of the crit. I mean, you guys won, and we're picking at, like, silly things, but I think that game could have been a lot cleaner if you pulled out an Abyssal Mask and got rid of Thornmail, Frozen Heart.
Come on, Jordan, just say it. Say it. DM me on Discord. Mate, no, no, no. No kindred, Jordan. No, no, no. It's not happening, mate. I need to change this. So, PB Bandit in KWC. Oops. Yeah, what a scrappy game one. I'm really curious to see how draft's going to be going game two, as Nunu definitely had a significant impact on the game as a whole, and there's not really any other champs in the game that have that significant influence on the map potential as Nunu does. You could maybe say something like Rammus, but I would still think it's a little incomparable. So curious to see how both of these junglers decide to pick for game two. I believe J Patches likes playing Nocturne Vi, but I could be wrong. Those would be a lot more impactful, I feel, than the Nautilus necessarily was, as the Nautilus did have impact in these team fights, but something that had more influence early possibly could have been nice. But again, that game could have easily gone either way, so I don't really fault either team for the draft necessarily.
I do.
Yeah,
Blue side's comp was pretty horrendous.
it wasn't fantastic, as they definitely should have lost, as their team was outscaled.
Yeah, they could have wrapped that game up super early too, but they tried to play too many structures fights against a team comp that just team fighted a lot better than theirs did. So that's my personal take. I think they won, but I think they probably shouldn't have. I think Red Side definitely threw on that last play.
Yeah, it definitely was not pretty, but they got the victory, so that's something, I guess. And we're getting into game two. And we see the Nocturne banned away. That could be my fault for saying that. Rel banned away? Is that something that he plays? Rel, Leona?
I'm back.
I'm very unsure if that's something that River Otter plays. The Rel or Leona. As it looks like they're just going to be banning away engage support picks. While Red Side is going to be banning away the exact junglers that I called. Yeah, so just engage supports, it looks like. That's what they fear from Blue Side, even though last game the Bard didn't have the greatest impact on the game. Instead, they're going to transition away from that Blitzcrank ban towards a Sivir ban. As Sivir in these 5v5 team fights, scrappy team fights, can absolutely have a significant impact, as the AoEs from her W is quite nice. And Aurora gets banned away. Very strong throughout the game. Significant. There's a lot of creative angles Aurora has, so preventing those is definitely makes it a lot easier to play the game for the backline of Red Side, as I don't believe Pop One plays Aurora, so good ban. As we're going to see an 80 carry picked first here, but I'm unsure what Freshy plays, outside of that Caitlyn. And we're gonna dodge.
Oh, we're
No,
griefing.
no. Oh no. Our bad.
Yeah, no shit.
We get an extra ban. What time is it in Ireland, Jordan? And we're back. Hopefully we ban these champs that we already know we're going to ban fast. We're not going to sit around here.
We will.
We're going to take our time. Alright. Alright. That's fair. Last time we had to remake a draft, the same thing happened. Except when I told them to get faster about it, they slowed down. What are you hoping Jordan's going to be picking this game?
I don't know, something fun like Ivan or something.
Ivan would be nice. I'd like to see Shen. I think that could be nice for him. Oh no, don't tell me Oh no, they forgot what their bans were. Please tell me they're not gonna.
Leona, you come on,
Okay,
boys.
thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, so they're first picking Seraphine. Thank you. Why Seraphine? Who could say? Seraphine can easily be flexed between mid, AD, and support. And I feel like Amox has played it before. I mean, I know when I played with him, he played it at least once or twice, but unsure if they've actually played it in the rec league this season, as Mundo gets picked up for likely Fraction, and that is more consistent with what I expect from him, as he is going to be split pushing as Mundo the majority of this game, if not all of this game. So really going to need to have something that matches that for Spooky this game. As Ashe gets locked in, as the Ashe Seraphine 2v2 is quite strong, and Blueside actually gives into the demands after dodging to play Teemo. And this Teemo is likely going to be played jungle. Teemo's another champion that got changed slightly, where he has a little bit better on hit for his on hit builds, but likely going to see a normal Teemo build. But it's Teemo in the jungle, so anything goes.
Yeah, I'm also. This is a game I would like to see Jordan genuinely play something like Shen.
Mm-hmm.
You have the split push coming from Mundo. You have really good pick coming from Ashe. Shen ult plays extremely well with both of them.
Could also see something like the Pantheon, as I know he does like playing that. As so far, blue side 3 AP champs into the Mundo. Not a big fan of that. If you are
Yeah.
if you're cheering on blue side, their team comp so far is not great. They have 3 backliners and they're all AP. So just stacking magic resist at this point for red side. It's going to be pretty hard for blue side to do damage. So we're going to see a Sejuani banned away from Jordan, as the LeBlanc is also banned away. The Veigar, it could be Veigar Seraphine bot lane together, or Veigar mid and Seraphine support, Seraphine bot. There's a lot of different ways this could be put together. So I imagine there's a bit of confusion out of red side in terms of what to ban, as they ban away one mid laner so far, and The Yone makes a lot more sense since blue side really needs physical damage. Seems pretty clear that blue side is not listening to the stream as they're not banning away the picks that we mentioned of Jordan's. So we're going to see a Janna banned away. As that is something I've seen that is played by River Otter. And would make the laning a lot harder for blue side's bot lane, depending on what the bot lane is. If it's double AP, then it's going to be hard for them to get punished easily. As the Morgana's quite nice into the Veigar and Seraphine. Curious to see if that Morgana is going to be played jungle or support, as it is a bit of a nice flex.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's gonna be support. Pretty confident.
Oh, we needed more AP on blue side, so we got Zac. It's sad because the Zac, I don't even know if he can knock up anyone on red side unless they're completely caught off guard. The Syndra can easily knock him back with her E. Morgana's spell shield's going to be a problem. The Mundo passive is going to be a problem. The only person that he can really hit right at this point in time is the Ashe, but if the Ashe has at least one member nearby, then she should be totally fine. As the Tristana, the first physical damage champion on blue side's team, finally locked in, and the Shen locked in for red side. Jordan was listening.
Yeah. I don't know how we went from drafting a lot better last game to this game.
Yeah. Yeah, the Zac is definitely an awkward top lane pick, as he has to match the Mundo inside, and his split push is not fantastic. He's decent inside, as he's able to easily get away from potential ganks with his E, but I'm pretty sure Mundo beats him as the game progresses, and it just becomes harder and harder. As again, red side can easily stack magic resist. The Shen pick, after seeing all those AP champs picked, feels a bit awkward, but they do have the auto attackers of Teemo and Tristana, so it's not the end of the world, and increasing the amount of shielding that his backlane has access to. Just increases chances of survivability, so I don't hate it. Yeah, otherwise it looks like, yet again, the team on red side has a significantly better draft, but I think it's even worse. Uh, the blue side team comp is significantly worse than the team comp was from last game, as they have 4 backliners plus a Zac, while red side's team comp makes a lot more sense in terms of standard drafts. Usually when you see something this awkward, they really have to know their champs, know positioning incredibly well, as a simple mispositioning could easily be punished with Mundo Cleaver, which leads into Shen E, or Syndra QE, or Ashe W leads into Morgana Q. There's a lot of different ways that red side can easily get a pick on them, but the big thing that they have to be paying attention to for sure is the engage of blue side, being the Seraphine E, Seraphine ult, Veigar Cage, and Zac as just a champion as a whole. So we'll see. Again, I think red side's team comp is significantly better, so I like their chances much more. And It'll be interesting to see if we get a clean 2-0 or we're seeing a very scrappy game 2, which could go either way yet again. Oh, I wish we didn't have to deal with the spectator delay.
It's the worst part about casting.
It is the worst part.
Just trying to fill space and time, dude. It's like, dude, we thought about the entire draft as we was going through it. We don't need 3 minutes of it. Tournament draft should just send you straight in.
It used to, and so you used to be able to type in all chat and they would actually see it, but not anymore. Because now we can actually see runes. So Syndra is going to be going the new rune. I believe he went the new replacement for Phase Rush on the Orianna as well. Makes a lot of sense as the Tristan's going to be trying to jump onto him and get good trades quite often. As that's the only really weak point that Syndra has into this matchup. Zac Conquer plus Ignite into the Mundo that has Fleet. Fleet Mundo top lane is a little bit uncharacteristic. Usually you see Grasp. But he also has the Ghost and TP. Well, it is the Veigar Seraphine bot lane into Ashe Morgana bot lane.
Yeah, the Morgana functions extremely well into this lane. Just Black Shield, walk out of cage. So, going to be able to keep this Ashe super safe into this quadruple AP comp.
Yeah. Tristana really going to be able to beat up this Syndra. She falls down to a little over 100 health. Feels very reminiscent of Game 1, as Papawan was also heavily chunked down and had to pop both pots early. So good showing from the very early trading of the Tristanas. That is where the Tristana absolutely excels. Morgana Kiwi able to hit onto the Seraphine. Tristana takes a turret shot for the love of the game.
I'm interested to see Al's Tristana. I know he played a lot of ADC in the past, but to my knowledge, he hasn't as of late. So damage coming out to the Veigar, though, making him really feel it.
Oh, Morgana Q a little bit wide, but more damage off into this Veigar. As the Veigar ended up going Darksteel first item, so he's going to be down a little bit of HP, but he also has the refillable potion, so he's going to be having a little bit more healing as yet again the Morgana Q a little bit wide onto that Veigar as the Seraphine E also dodged by Morgana. Morgana playing incredibly aggressive, but using her abilities quite often is going to be putting her quite low on mana as her W is quite a lot of mana. And we're already seeing brawling up in the top lane, but the Mundo has a significant wave behind him. So it's kind of a 1v 2 situation for this Zac. It looks like the other series went 1-1. Oh, Veigar hit by this Morgana Q, but a lot of shielding coming up for the Seraphine is going to negate the majority of that damage. Yeah, both these bot lanes very, very ability focused. As it looks like the Teemo had to flash it at a certain point. That might have been a misclick. Shen is just going to be finishing his second, pathing towards his second clear. Teemo doing his Krugs, as it looks like he started pathing top, but not going to be able to get anything onto this Morgana and Ashe as they do spot him out. So he's going to be delaying his clear a little bit. Shen's going to be
What's Jordan's runes? I'm curious I'm curious to if he knows tech.
Tristana looking for
Pull
some
it
out
up
of
one
the
more time.
Syndra. Getting good chunk down. All the Shen's going to be able to flash onto the Tristana, so the Morgana Q is going to be able to get hit, and the Syndra's going to be able to get some more damage, but the Morgana is going to cure First Blood. So here's the runes. Axiom Arcanist.
Jordan knows tech. He knows tech. Axiom Arcanist and Guardian.
Yeah.
He knows he doesn't have to leave jungle at all, and he's gonna blood.
Zac pops Ignite onto the Mundo, but the Mundo is able to trade back onto him. Mundo might be dying to the minions here, and so he's trying to run away from that cannon as best as he can, but the Zac passive secured in exchange for a proper position in lane phase. Nice cage by the Veigar. Or he didn't have any abilities up to actually punish the Ashe. Oh, Morgana flashes forward and misses that Q onto the Veigar. Nice movement by Freshie. Morgana Qs are quite hard to hit. But they do have enough pry out to be able to path towards this drag. Syndra doesn't have the clearest access to the drag pit, as the Veigar and Seraphine now walking over there. All the Ashe has to catch this minion wave under the turret. So these drag is barely going to get taken by red side, as the Shen, it looked like he didn't have smite there, is going to try to get out as best as he can, as the Tristana's to be able to get... No, he is not able to get the KP onto that Shen, so he's not able to jump forward, as Morgana's being able to avoid most abilities, and she is eventually taken down. The Tristana jumps forward. No way in hell he's able to get this kill here, as the Syndra pops ult and the Ashe flashes forward, and not able to get that kill into the Tristana, but the Tristana does get away with her life after flashing out. Ashe still looking for something onto the Teemo. The Shen ult coming through, and the team is going to be taunted. And another kill going over to red side. And so the scrappiness that we really expect, it really benefits the Shen pick, as he was able to barely get level 6 off of that drag take. And Mundo almost taking down the Zac yet again. Yet again, as his first death was purely his passive. As Shen's now going to be taking the chickens. But his entire jungle is up. So just taking it out of spite, which I respect, is the Morgana just trying to cancel bases from blue side's bot lane. Very strange pathing for the Morgana here. Just taking damage for the love of the game. And the wave is in an unfortunate position as the Veigar TP's behind them. Maybe looking for something under the Morgana, as the Morgana blowing your flash earlier should give them a clean kill, as the Seraphine's going to be the one taking that kill. Ashe runs out of mana, blowing her W, and she's just going to be able to walk away. And Veigar should just be able to absorb this wave, reset, and run back to base. Really creative gank from the bot laner blue side. Nice punish on Morgana's lack of a flash. More fighting the top side as Zac pops his ult and Ignite, looking for something onto the Mundo, but the Mundo was going to pop his ult while the Ignite was ticking on him, so not going to be able to heal back as much as he would really like. And Ash still not able to reset here, as Veigar's trying to crash it as best as he can. But Morgana's going to try and stop it. So the Veigar and Seraphine are going to be looking for something onto the Morgana. Morgana barely able to avoid that Veigar cage, as he does take a lot of damage while the Ashe is in base. Tristan's going to be jumping forward onto the center of the center hit. It's a nice stun to prevent him from taking too much damage. And the Shen is able to take all 3 grubs. So all objectives so far in the game going over to red side. Oh, Morgana autoing the minion to ensure that Ashe isn't able to get that. Tristan able to avoid that Syndra E, so able to just jump forward and do as much damage as he possibly can onto the Syndra. Nice Morgana Q onto the Seraphine. Shen trying to get something onto the team, but the team was able to walk it out. Nice Morgana Q onto the Veigar again, but the Ashe ult is hit, as well as the Morgana ult follow-up, but doesn't have quite enough damage. Morgana's barely able to secure that kill with a nice Morgana Q. Seraphine ult hits onto the Ashe, and the Ashe is going to be ticking. Just able to walk away. Yeah, very chaotic 2v2s in both games. The Seraphine looking for something further onto the Morgana, but the Morgana pulls up her spell shield and does have the Shen ult there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that team fight going on in the bot lane, as instead we're going to look at this Zac falling lower and lower. Curious to see if he has his passive back up. He does, as he's building towards Liandry's first item. So very, very aggressive purchase. I'm more used to seeing the tank Zac top lane. There's more trading. It's not going to transition into anything, as this Syndra's mid turret is getting lower and lower for her. Once Tristana is able to pop that turret, it's really going to open up the map for him, as the Tristana is able to rotate around the map a lot easier than the immobile the immobile Syndra. Modding a stream I get ads for. Elbows, though. Nice Veigar cage, but they do have the Morgana spell shield to just be able to easily walk it out, but did take a lot of damage. A lot of damage further coming onto the Ashe. The Morgana going to be popping ult, and the Ashe ult going to be popped as well. The Veigar was able to flash out of there and eventually gets taken down to that Morgana. And Teemo looking for a kill onto the Morgana. The Morgana doesn't have a spell shield here, so she flashes out. Teemo Poison able to secure that kill, but the Shen is right around the corner, and Teemo is able to secure a second kill for himself. Is he able to just walk away from the Shen? The Shen doesn't have really a lot of damage outside of his Q, and so he's trying to get him taken down. Teemo blind lets him live a little bit longer, but the Shen taunt is going to secure that kill onto the Teemo, and now Shen's looking for something onto the Seraphine, but the Tristana is right around the corner, and the Tristana pops ult, and the E doesn't kill, but is able to just jump onto him and end his life, as the Zac is brawling with the Mundo again. The Mundo's going to be popping his ult, getting much healthier, as Zac doesn't have ult quite yet. Now has ult and pops Ignite onto the Mundo, so the Mundo's going to be losing a lot of that healing he's getting, and Zac does secure a kill onto him, as again he is going a lot more aggressive in terms of his build, so going to be outputting significant damage that is likely unexpected from the Mundo, as Mundo is finally able to pick up Warmogs, but unfortunately he's not going to have the Warmog's health threshold quite yet, and so that's not really going to be able to he's not really going to be benefiting from the passive, as the Seraphine is going to be popping this ultimate onto the Morgana, but the Morgana spell shield ensures she's not going to be CC'd. Shen ult coming through onto the Morgana getting lower and lower, but the Tristana slowly but surely gets taken down as the Ashe flashes away to ensure that she doesn't get trade killed. Oh, here comes Teemo, and here's a TP coming around for the Zac, as the Mundo has decided not to use that. Ashe pops barrier, trying to live as long as she possibly can, because it's get taken down by that Seraphine. Seraphine gets a double kill, taking another kill from the Morgana. as she gets taken down. And now the Shen's trying to run away from this Teemo and Zac, but they get that kill. And again, absolute crazy, crazy team fight that lasted several minutes, and we're at 17 kills already, 13 minutes into the game as Cinder's threatening mid turret. Flashing into Shen, top 5 worst anime betrayal. Nice stun for the Cinder to ensure that the Zac's not able to get on top of her.
Alright, I'm back. Catch me up. Sorry, I had to do something.
There was like a 3-minute fight. The Cinder's looking to prevent the Zac from being able to get on top of her. It's just been constant scrapping.
Same as last game. Just
It's
no rhyme or
actually
reason.
worse.
It's worse.
It is worse this game than last game.
Oh shit!
You missed out, mate.
Lock in here then.
And more brawling in the top lane. The Zac ended up going Leandra's first item, so he's going to be looking for to pop this Mundo here. He's going to be healing up quite a bit, but he doesn't have Ignite this time, so is he able to get enough damage down? It doesn't look like that's the case, and the Shen is right around the corner looking to prevent the Zac from being able to get away this time, as Zac is just able to E away and live yet again. One Morgana Q a little bit wide onto that team up, but the Teemo's recall is stopped by the Morgana W. Nice spell shield by the Morgana, preventing that cage from really having any significant impact. And the bot laners both have completed their first item so far, the Vigor of the Roa, while Ashe is getting a lot of move speed from the Storm Razor.
Wow.
Oh, Zac still wants to kill the Mundo, knowing that the Mundo doesn't have his ult. His chances of being able to take him down are quite higher. And he also does have Ignite, even if the Mundo was able to get his ult back up in time. Imagine the Zac's going to be looking to build Oblivion Orb next, to make him less reliant on his Ignite to secure kills. And Teemo's now looking for
the fact we didn't see Fraction go Heartsteel first to me is a little bit criminal. Just because you know that this lane's going to be constant scraps, even if you don't quite get the same sustain, you're going to get so much value out of that Heartsteel this game.
Oh, absolutely. And he's likely going to be building Heartsteel's second item, as now the team was going to be running top lane after taking down the Herald. But instead he's just going to be bopping him a little bit and running away. Yeah, he's likely going to be building Heartsteel's second item when the landing phase is going to be more or less over, and the value that it's going to be providing is not going to be as significant, as the Morgana is going to be flashing forward onto this Veigar and Seraphine, and as a nice Seraphine ult is going to be preventing this Ashe from getting too much damage down, as she gets CC'd for quite a long time. This Shen ult is going to save the lives of nearly both the bot laners of red side, as the Ashe does eventually get taken down, and she does have her barrier still available. I guess she decided she wasn't in a position of threat, and did get taken down. All the Tristana is able to take down mid-turret in response to Cinder already taking down mid-turret. And the Shen ult already showing the the influence he can have on the map.
Is Papawan just him or something?
He's been playing pretty decent.
You take him off as Zillion, and he's played really well both Game 1 and Game 2. I mean, from what I've only seen little of Game 2, but he's 2-0. He's up on CS. He's playing well this series.
Yeah, yet again, a very, very close game. Looks like Cinder's going to be forced bot lane now. Is able to avoid that Seraphine E. But Teemo threatening a potential dive. I don't like their chances, but they do have the Veigar cage to make it somewhat easy, as the Morgana's just going to be running into the Teemo and Seraphine, going to be slowed and just taken down, very out of position from the Morgana there, as the Syndra's going to be getting some good damage out of the Veigar's going to flash away from the cage. Likely was a bit unnecessary, as they didn't have any potential follow-up from blue side, but I guess he needed to press the button.
Yeah, and I think just from looking at that shield there, it's quite clear to me that we're not maxing shield on Morgana, and I think it should definitely be the consideration. Can you check that? Oh, never mind. Hold that thought a second. Oh, never mind.
The Shen E-Flash onto the Tristana W'd out, so she's going to be stuck here a little bit as the Ashe is going to be able to slow her down a little bit, but unfortunately we're going to be seeing this Syndra chase down by the Teemo as the Syndra was trying to take down that bot turret, and Teemo doesn't have any CC to prevent this Syndra from getting away, and so she's just out of there as the Veigar tries to TP behind her. But unfortunately, the Syndra TP already went off, and now the Veigar is going to be in a little bit of a pickle as he's going to be looking for a kill onto the Shen, and he's barely doesn't have enough damage there. And Ashe lives with a sliver of health yet again. Yeah, the Morgana is maxing Spell Shield second. It should have been first this game, I agree. But I guess he likes the damage and CC that he gets from putting points in queue. Oh, Morgana's in the middle of a few people as it looks like the Zac is going to be held down for a little bit, but instead the Shen's going to be looking for something onto the Seraphine as the Zac passive is procced and Seraphine gets taken down as the Morgana walks back in there for some strange reason, giving over a kill to the Tristana, and now the Shen's likely going to get taken down soon afterwards, but barely able to avoid the Tristana's advances, all while the Mundo is pushing top lane, and blue side likely going to be able to take down this next drag, and it's going to be Infernal Soul again. So as close as this game is in terms of finances, the objectives, 2 drags on blue side, while red side has the 1 drag and 3 grubs. The grubs are definitely nice this game, as again Fraction's on a champ that he can split push to eternity, to the ends of time playing. So it definitely favors his playstyle quite a bit. And it's interesting seeing that the Zac didn't end up building towards Oblivion Orb, as this game he should be leaning against the Zac the majority of the time. The Morgana spell shield a little bit off time, so he was hit by the slow from Seraphine, but able to get away from that. And Teemo's just setting up some shrooms. Prepping Baron, as if blue side is able to get a nice pick, then they do have the damage to be able to take down Baron. Zac's looking for something under the Ashe. The Ashe is a little bit far forward. Is able to hit a nice Q off under her, but the Ashe doesn't decide to use that ult quite yet. Morgana's right around the corner, and the Ashe is able to chunk him down to about half health. Nice Morgana spell shield to prevent him from getting CC'd whatsoever. But no Morgana spell shield should mean he's a lot more susceptible to these advances from the Zac, as Shen's looking on to the Tristana. The Tristana's going to be jumping forward. He's going to be looking for something out of the center. The center's able to pop ult, but unfortunately the Tristana damage is just too much as she's able to get that kill and get away from that Shen taunt. The first big misstep that we've really seen from Papa-Wan in this series.
Yeah, I'm not going to give him a hard time for it, though. He's been playing extremely well.
Yeah. Nice Morgana Q onto the Teemo, doing a lot of damage onto him. Next drag's going to be spawning in 3 minutes, but red side's bot turret should fall soon, as it's actually looking for something onto the Ashe with the Tristana. Is going to be flashing forward at 1 HP under the turret, and he falls, as well as the Seraphine ult is a little bit wide onto the Shen and Ashe, as Ashe just trying to run away from this Teemo as best as he possibly can, but is going to stand her ground and do a little bit of damage off into him. And the Tristana is going to be jumping forward into the Morgana. The Morgana, it's a nice spell Q, and the Shen taunt prevents the Tristana from continuing to auto the Morgana. Now the Shen likely going to fall for the Morgana's sins. Oh, guess not. The Shen ult able to get him away. And somehow the gold is still damn near dead even. 30 kills, 23-minute game. It's a party. As Vagar and Seraphine looking for something on the Mundo, but the Mundo does have quite a bit of health. He doesn't have any magic resist at this point in the game, like they're going to be building that third item. And the Zack's going to be jumping right onto his face, and he's going to get blown up by this Zack, as the Vagar ult was used to try and secure that kill, but unfortunately he was not the one who picked it up. And so he stays at a measly 1 in 5, while Zack gets his second kill of the game.
What way are you leaning in this game? I mean, we got 200 gold in it right now.
Yeah. The Mundo, I don't foresee him ever leaving lane. The Tristana has been a bit of a menace. Oh, Vagar's going to flash forward, looking for a cage onto the Ashe, but the Ashe is going to be able to narrowly avoid it, and the Shen's doing quite a bit of damage as well as the Morgana ult on the side. The Ashe, again, continues to hold his ground, gets taken down, and the Shen falls soon afterwards, and so far a 3-for-0 in favor of blue side. Syndra's missing everything. Teemo is going to be looking for something too, and Syndra's going to be able to flash away from that Seraphine ult, but she is running, as the team is going to be flashing past that Syndra Q, and a nice Syndra E is going to be preventing the team from being able to get a fourth kill. All while
Jordan
Tristan
failed
staying the
E
base.
flash.
He's the best to ever do it. He wouldn't do that.
Oh, he did, bro. I saw it. Interested as well to see how you deal with this Mundo later. At some point, he will buy Bone Mail. I'm sure of it.
I just want to see him build Spirit Visage. Nice stun from the Syndra onto the Zac. Zac passive going to get taken down, and eventually he's going to get taken down.
What did Mundo ult for?
Love of the game. Bean, I don't know how to make bets. I'm sorry, mate. No bets. The mods didn't want to do it, so there's no bets. I don't know what to tell you, mate.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it either. And I'm not a mod anyway, so I wouldn't be able to.
Red side setting up for this drag. As they did take down the Zac. The Zac has TP it once he spawns in 20 seconds, so this is going to go over to red side. And now we're going to be even drags as well. All while blue side is going to be looking to threaten this Baron, while there are minions going to red side's base.
How do they threaten Baron?
They do
Surely they can't do this. Just on a Q just wore off.
Oh, and they take it down, but it looks like the Vagar is going to be taken down in exchange, as the Mundo's going to be chasing them down. He does have his passive still. He pops Ghost looking for something onto the rest of blue side team comp. The Zac is coming from base. If they overchase, this could go poorly for red side, but this Mundo is quite tanky. Zac's looking for something onto the back lane. The Q misses on the Ashe. The Mundo's going to pop at the very start, and now we're looking for more. The Shen looking for the Gromp, as the Ashe is going to be chased down by the Zac. Zac Q's a little bit short, but he can keep chasing him until the end of days. Instead, they're going to get the blue buff as a consolation prize. And so blue side is going to be up about 2,000 gold. Really creative macro play from blue side. Realizing that the drag was gone for certain, and red side was going to have to react to the minions in their base. Instead, they didn't, and so they lost a Nexus turret as well as the Baron. As yet again, it kind of feels like the team that is a better 5v5 is struggling to get what sort of team fights they're looking for. That's what we get when we get these two very scrappy teams.
If we lose this with quadruple AP on blue side, this is going to be crazy. River are very ambitious to think he can walk up on them right there.
Yeah, I really, really don't like the Titanic Hydra purchase, which is no, it's not going to be Titanic Hydra. It's going to be the HP stacking item from Mundo. I really would like to see Spirit Visage out of him, as, again, it's 4 AP on blue side. It should be a no-brainer. Teemo's trying to steal the jungle from the Shen, and Shen's going to be taking so much damage from this Veigar and Teemo, as Veigar's now up 2 levels on the Ashe, thanks in part to the Roa. Imagine if we had Mundo ult there. Mundo ult is bad, surely. Teemo's going to be canceling this reset as the Morgana Q is going to be able to hit onto me. He's going to get blown up. Alright. You canceled his base? But he murdered you as Teemo's poison nearly takes down that Syndra. Next drag spawning in 2 minutes, so we do have quite a bit of time. Mid-inhib for red side should be respawned at this point. Tristan's looking for something out of the Mundo, as the Mundo does not have any armor built so far. As he really shouldn't be building any armor, as the Zac is way too far forward. And he gets taken down, but the Mundo is also quite far forward, but the Shen ult and the Mundo ult is going to keep him alive, as well as the Tristan ult honestly kept him alive, as Mundo goes back to full health. I foresee more fighting ahead of this next drag.
I foresee a 40-minute game.
We could go the distance.
There's so much anti-siege coming from red side and just siege coming from red side because of all the AP. And then it's kind of, Syndra's going to infinitely clear waves. The only way a game's going to end is, I think, through Baron here, unless it's a 5-man wipe on Dragon 35 minutes in, but...
Oh, Mono's going to be finding the Teemo here. He's also going to be finding a Shroom, as a nice Ashe ult is going to be holding this Teemo still for a little bit, but a lot of healing and shielding coming out of the Seraphine is going to keep him alive long enough to get away, as the Mundo is the one that's going to be actually taken down, as the Morgana is going to pop her ult, but she's going to get taken down, and the Veigar's looking for something onto the Syndra, and the Syndra gets killed after popping her flash, and that's not a good sign for red side.
No, and I'd like to highlight too, the Titanic Hydra on Mundo, like you were saying earlier, is just super out of place. It's the solo queue build. Like, he doesn't need to do damage this game. He doesn't need to split push. He could just group with his team and let Syndra and Ashe play the fight, and he just needs to be able to live through this Tristana and quadruple AP. Hydra's just super greedy, super solo queue.
Yeah, there's significantly diminishing returns when you stack this much health without buying any sort of armor or magic resist. And I really struggle to see how he gets taken down if he did have something like the Spirit Visage or Force of Nature even. Why not both?
I know both.
Yeah, his team already has plenty of damage, and even when he's building full tank stats, he is doing quite a bit of damage. So it just feels, yeah, again, very out of place. We're gonna looking for something out of the Teemo, but the Teemo's just stepping forward. I really hope we see a nice 5v5, but the Shen's going to be caught out by the Veigar cage. The Veigar's going to be chunking him down quite heavily. That's actually even going to pop his Protoplasm harness. So he's not going to have that for the next team fight around Baron, as the Morgana spell shield is popped on the Shen to reduce a little bit of that Teemo Shroom damage. So actually we're assuming the Ashes. She is caged, and a nice Seraphine ult, in addition to ensure that she has no chance of living there. Oh.
Yeah, and that was a super good go button from Spooky Action, realizing Shen has to recall there just because of all the damage he took from Veigar and Teemo Shrooms. So really good force look there. Jordan looks like he's getting a little loose here. Might be able to find the Veigar. Does find the Veigar and also the Seraphine. Jordan, though, trying to get a little overzealous on this Tristana, and it is going to result in everybody just perishing. This Tristana is so strong right now.
He is a menace. 4-item Tristana, the only AD champ on his entire team. And the Morgana is building full AP. would really prefer to see more supportive items built, as the Ashe is able to hit a nice ult onto this Tristana, but the Tristana is just able to ult her away. Now the Zack's looking for something onto the Tristana, and able, or the Ashe is she's going to be healing quite a bit. Ashe barely not able to take down Tristana, and this game is going to go over to blue side. So it's going to be a 1-1 series. Game 2, I'm unsure if the MVP should be Spooky or Aranos, as they both had a significant impact in this win as a whole.
Your call. You watched more of it than I did. I feel like maybe Al does take the edge just because of the fact he was the solo AD. He had to perform. He had the pressure. You know, if he didn't perform and wasn't as strong as he was, that game is drastically different.
Yeah, but the engages from the Zac really enabled their team to be able to secure important kills. But he also overextended several times. So yeah, it's probably the Tristana. And then for game 1, oh, I can't even remember. Just give it to Jordan. That's probably fair.
Yeah,
Jordan,
Jordan enabled every single lane.
yeah. So if Jordan now want to join the casting booth, we can chat about those games. Oh, Jordan doesn't see the channel, so someone's gonna have to drag him in. What's up, mate?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, mate.
How are you? How are you?
Those are some interesting games, mate.
Yeah, they were very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah. Coming into the
yeah.
series, I hadn't really seen games this scrappy in quite a long time. Did you guys kind of expect that?
Yeah. That's kind of our play style. We're kind of like all over the place sometimes, but I feel like that's the way we kind of win games is just not make it a skill thing and make it a scrappy thing.
hmm So game 1, the Nunu comes
Yeah,
out. The Nunu has a significant impact on the map as a whole
the Conqueror. Yeah,
with Conqueror. Yeah, very nice, very nice. And game 2, you guys go with the Shen jungle. We personally both like your team comp a lot better since they're 4 AP. They only have 1 AD. And so that if that Tristana gets ahead, she's definitely going to be a problem, as you guys should be stacking magic resist. But unfortunately, you guys didn't really stack a lot of magic resist. It was pretty much full damage coming out of your mid, AD, and support. And even your Mundo was building more damage focused rather than building any specific stats until it looks like fourth
yeah.
item might have been Spirit Visage. Was there any communication around that?
Not really. No, we wasn't really talking about builds. I didn't really look at the builds. I was just vibing and just pressing hard and killing camps. So I wasn't really looking too much into it. I did see some of the builds, and I probably could have got a Koenig, for example. I think Koenig would have been good that game, especially with Team Mushrooms and stuff. But
Canic, Spirit
yeah,
Visage. Yeah.
our itemization was really bad, and we just couldn't stop Tristana. We tried. I mean, there was a play in bot lane that looked kind of rough, but I ulted down and we lost. And then I didn't farm my top side for about 3 minutes because I was just addicted to that dragon. I was getting pulled to that dragon. So
That's fair. When you guys have your drafts fully finished and you're entering the game, do you guys talk about what your game plan is to win the game? As coming out of game 1, you guys don't have the best 5v5 in the world. You guys are kind of lacking damage, so a little bit scrappier and looking for more interesting picks makes a lot of sense. And then game 2, you guys are a bit more of a 5v5 team comp. You guys do have the potential to play split and play more creative that way, but what is communication looking
so
like?
So the way I've seen it with my team, the more conventional way we play, it feels like when we try to play more structured, we play worse. It feels like. I feel like if when we just play more of a, trying to find the right word here, a chaotic game, I feel like it actually, I think it heightens our chances. It might look really bad, but sometimes it looks better because we're just better at playing more of a crazy game, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
When we're structured, I feel like we try and be too structured, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think that showed a lot game one.
We
I
should have
think you
won.
guys were winning game one. You guys were winning game one hard, like the entire game. The second you guys tried to have structured fights around Dragon, you guys just kept inting.
Yeah,
And you guys only won off the back of their mess up game one. Like it wasn't clean, but you guys seem to function a lot better when you make it scrappy. You drag them through the mud. You do things that just doesn't make sense, and it and
yeah,
it and it worked out in game one for the vast majority of it. So
yeah,
I would agree with you. You guys just need to get in the weeds. Just get murky with it.
yeah. I feel like yeah. When the game is scrappy, we do look better. Just make it not a skill thing, Just make it just throw, No defense.
You know,
Fair enough.
just engagey type shit.
Yeah, just go, Fuck it.
Why not? Get after it, mate. Yeah, definitely an interesting, very scrappy series that was all over the place. Game one could have easily gone either way. Game two, blue side,
We
it
should have been too old. We should have been too.
probably, probably, but you guys were able to secure a win, and
Yeah,
so
I'm
one
happy
win
about it.
series is always nice to see. Any idea who you guys are playing next?
No idea. What week is it? I don't even know.
No clue.
I know we got Champion Ocean and Jake's team in the last 2 weeks. Is there 2 weeks left?
You guys
We
played
got
tie ties yet?
No, we got Tyler's, your team,
Yeah,
and Champion Ocean.
yeah. I think
One
you
of
got
those two.
tie tie than us than Champ Ocean.
Yeah, that's scary, bro. That's scary. We needed these wins, bro.
And you got one. That's not bad.
We did, yeah, we did.
That's not bad. You did it for PP, as
We
he's
did, yeah. We're the 1-1
dying.
team, bro. We're the
One
1-1
one team.
team.
Hell
I
yeah.
think I think I've been on the 1-1 team the last 4 seasons in a row, but I'm glad I'm being consistent.
That's fair. All right. Well, thanks for playing. It was interesting to watch. Thanks everyone else for watching. We'll see you guys on Sunday. I believe that's the next series that's going to be happening. If there's another one, just make sure to stay tuned, as there's always more league to watch.